Should be finally live on YouTube. It's been one of those days. One of those days where things just don't go the way you expect them to go. Makes perfect sense for this topic, right? Well, I don't know how many people are going to be here. I don't even know if people can hear me right now because I had to redo this stream. And when a few people uh, show up and can confirm that we're actually live, um, well, we are live, but that they can actually hear me, then I will get further into it. I'm sure that's probably Queen Helen Casey that just popped on in. So let me know if you can hear me clearly and see me clearly. You know, like they say in show business, the show must go on, right? The show must go on. Well, I'm just going to run the show like, you know, like there's a bunch of people here. It shows 0 in the box now. That's weird. I think people are expecting me to go live on a different link. I'm just going to, the Queen is here. Oh, hey Queen, how are you doing? Thank you so much, Queen. I'm going to explain what happened earlier. I was supposed to go live at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Pacific. And I was just about to finish getting prepared in my car. And I was going to attach an extra battery pack to my phone. And I hit the live button, I guess, by mistake. And I was broadcasting live literally for like, 10 seconds from my car. Now we got a bunch of people looking at me. And these are what people do to, distract your shows and stuff like that, right? People are like nosy, right? But that's what you have to do or deal with, which is what I'm trying to say when you're doing this type of work, right? But yeah, here's what happened. Like I said, I hit the live button by mistake from my car, and I was live from my car, and I'm like, oh man, this is horrible. I have to now kill this stream and try to set up another mobile stream from my smartphone in the ways that, I like to do it, which I need a laptop or a desktop to do it that way because I like to change some features that I can't do from the mobile app. So it took me about a half an hour to figure it out from my iPhone 12 Pro Max, and I got another stream up. I was able to download the thumbnail from the last stream to my phone and re-upload it. It's horrible quality because when you're doing this from a phone, it's not the same as doing it from a laptop or a desktop. So if you are looking at the thumbnail right now on YouTube, when you click on in, it's probably really horrible quality. I will fix that when I get back home, when I get back into the studio. I just still wanted to find a way to get this show going and get my walk in. Again, sometimes things just don't go the way you expect them to go, right? And we're going to be talking about that here on this show. We're going to be talking about, results will come when you least expect them. But I'm just going to wait a few more minutes before we get into it so people can get the notification. We now have 6 in the box. People are starting to see that, hey, Eli went live on a different link. What happened? Well, you're going to have to go back and check out the replay because I'm not going to explain it again. and I have the DVR disabled. Queen, can you verify that the rewind feature is not working? Can you see if you can rewind and let me know? It should be disabled. I just want to make sure that I set up this stream from my iPhone correctly, despite the unfortunate mishap that happened when I was going to go live half an hour ago. Just got to roll with the punches, folks. That's all you can do. It's locked. Okay, good. That's good. That means everything is all set. All right. It's a beautiful night here in Redwood City, California, where I live. You can probably see the moon up there. The sun's going to be going down soon. I didn't even put on my shades because the sun's going to go down. And I'm going to do at least 3 laps, so I will probably be in the dark for some of this show. But there are lights out here, and the iPhone 12 Pro Max does have a great low light compensation and auto exposure. So hopefully you'll be able to see me for the most part. We're going to put the iPhone 12 Pro Max to the test. You know? You're going to spend $1,400 on the phone, it better do everything known to man and womankind, right? It better work in any situation, right? These damn things are now even waterproof up to 30 feet. Can you believe that? You can drop these phones in your toilet or in a swimming pool, and they'll survive. What can these things, or what can't these things do, right? Oh, man. Some dude is waiting for me, and I'm waiting for them to go by. Well, it's some chick, actually. Don't mind me, folks. It's been one of those days, and I'm a little all over the place, but it'll be good. That's another thing. Even, coaches have their days, right? We're humans, right? We're not immune to mistakes or, things not working properly. We're not perfect people. Whoever said that coaches are perfect people? We just have a lot of experience, and we share our experiences like I'm doing right now. One of the reasons we become coaches is because we've learned how to deal with, situations not always going the way that we would typically expect them to go, right? It's a nice night. The outside temperature gauge in my car read 68 degrees before I walked out. So it's not really super cold, but it's not warm either. It's like a good temperature right now. I'm not wearing any gloves. I'm dressed down. I'm in my short sleeve workout outfit and my sweats. And let's hope it doesn't start getting any colder and then my hands start to freeze, right? While I hold this selfie stick in front of me, right? We got 7 people here. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you all. All right, so let's get right to it. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, the Walking with Purpose live edition. This is episode number 116. And today, we're going to be discussing things will happen. Results will come when you least expect it. So don't give up. One more time. Results will come, will happen when you least expect it. So don't give up. There are lots of people out here today, and I'm trying to avoid as many people as possible for many reasons. I still don't want to take any chances with people that are not wearing a mask, even if they're vaccinated, or I'm partially vaccinated. I'm going to be fully vaccinated by the end of this week. So that should be good. Yeah, I'm in one of those strange moods today, folks. I'm not in a bad mood, but I'll tell you something that I struggle with. I've always struggled with this my entire life. Maybe some of you are struggling with this as well. You know, I've always tried to be a perfectionist at everything that I do. And when one little aspect of something that I'm working on isn't perfect to my expectations and level of quality I like to put out, it really bugs me. And I focus all of my time and energy to try to make just that one aspect perfect, right? It's one thing I'll admit that I've struggled with. And it's not a good thing, because it takes your focus away from the overall picture, which involves more than just that one aspect that's a little less than perfect, or it's kind of, lacking for the time being. So I've always struggled with that. Today I was actually on my laptop in the morning, and because these new laptops don't typically have an Ethernet port to connect directly to your internet connection instead of Wi-Fi for a better stable connection, you have to purchase a separate USB Ethernet adapter, right? So my USB Ethernet adapter started to malfunction, and I went to do some research on it, and some of the forums said that it's probably overheating when you run it at full load. Well, it's a 1 gigabit Ethernet adapter. It can hit a max speed of 1,000 up and 1,000 down, which is the max speed of my fiber line, right? So I needed to work at its max speed. But I also read on some of the cheaper adapters, this was like a $12 adapter. I didn't think it was that cheap, but I guess it is. On some of the cheaper adapters, if you use them at max speed for too long, the internals start to... Give me a second here. The internals start to heat up. And it causes what's known as, in the computer world, as thermal throttling. And when something gets really hot, before it gets any hotter, once it reaches a certain level, it will automatically shut down to prevent the equipment from completely getting destroyed or catching fire or something like that, right? So this started to happen on my Ethernet adapter when I was using it, at full tilt, 1,000 up, 1,000 down. I would do some speed tests and download some large files. And every so often, I'll just do, testing with large bandwidth files just to test the stability of my Ethernet adapter, because I need to have a great and reliable Ethernet adapter for when I live stream in the studio. So I realized that this adapter is a cheap adapter. And I said, screw it. I went on to Amazon and I spent $70 and I got this metal Ethernet adapter that can go up to 5 gigabits instead of 1. And typically, when you get a product with higher specs than you need, it ends up working a lot better at a lower speed because it was made to handle a higher speed. So I have a new Ethernet adapter coming the end of next week, and for now I can just use Wi-Fi. Not a big deal. I'm not that far from the router. The laptop has a great Wi-Fi card in it, and I could still get pretty good speeds from Wi-Fi. So for now, when I stream in the studio, I'll just end up using, Wi-Fi. But yeah, folks, you have those days. You have those days where things just don't work the way you want them to work, and you've done your research and you've prepared far in advance, but sometimes things just don't go the way you want them to go. Or if you read some reviews on Amazon and you purchase a product that you thought was good, and I purchased this thing before I even got my laptop. I was prepared. You're putting your trust in the hands of the manufacturer that the product they've made is going to be good and it's going to last, and it's not going to malfunction after 2 weeks of usage. And so I read a little bit more about that, and basically on the cheaper products, if you fully throttle them at 1 gigabit up and down, they'll work for a few weeks, but what happens is it starts to wear down the housing on the inside because it gets really hot. And after a while, it'll start to thermal throttle. It'll start to thermally throttle much quicker. I do 2 speed tests now with this adapter, and it just shuts out. It shuts off, So I'm like, okay. Like I said, I'm going to go and buy a $70 Ethernet adapter. Top of the line, a 5 gigabit Ethernet adapter, even though my connection only goes up to 1. But at least it'll handle 1 gigabit flawlessly and not thermally throttle on me. I tell you, folks, I knew this upgrade to this laptop and the way things have gone in the modern world. They're trying to make things smaller, right? They're trying to make things smaller and more compact with computers, with laptops and everything, right? And for portability, I can understand that, right? I can understand that. But for reliability, when you're looking for a laptop to replace a desktop, right, you'd rather have a little bit of a bulkier laptop that's going to be more reliable and have stronger parts that are not going to overheat as easily. But what they're doing now is they're just eliminating parts, and they're, having you purchase these parts with adapters to get them to work. Most laptops now have gone from a USB Type A, the old USB cable, to USB-C. And while most of us still have USB Type A stuff, in order for our older devices to work, we have to buy these adapters and hubs, and we have to make sure that they work, and they're not going to overheat, and they're not going to fry on us after 2 weeks of usage, right? And if we use these products at max capacity, which is what they're supposed to be rated for, right? Are they going to melt on us or wear down quicker just because we're using them at the max rated speed, right? I'm the kind of guy that would rather pay top dollar and get something that's just going to work for a very long time than get something cheap that I can only run at half its rated speed or less, right? Anyway, live and learn, right? Live and learn. live and learn. There are lots of people at the park right now. It's a nice night. I'm running into a lot of people. Just trying to do my own thing too. You know, while I'm talking with you folks, I just want to enjoy this walk. I'm kind of like in one of those moods where I don't feel like I want to be bothered by anyone that, you know, is surrounded around me. I just want to talk with you folks, my YouTube audience, and share with you folks that if you don't expect things, if you're just cool, calm, collective, and laid back, and don't expect things, results will come when you least expect things. When you least expect it. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. So when I say, you know, results will come when you least expect them, right? When you least expect it. So don't give up. That includes all aspects of your life. That includes your personal life dating. That includes those of you that are trying to make it out here on YouTube or any other self-employed type of business. Okay. Lots of people out. I'm getting distracted. But what happens to most people? What happens to most people? Well, they'll come out on a platform like YouTube and they'll try to go viral within a month or two, and then they'll just give up. They'll quit, right? Or if you're a good man or a good woman and you believe in true love and happiness nowadays, we all know it's difficult, more difficult to make that happen because of the way the modern world is. Let's say you put yourself out there on online dating, or you try to connect with people in person and you keep getting shot down, and no matter what you do, no matter how cool you play your game or your cards, right? Nothing's happening, right? How many of you have been in that position where, you know, the things that you're doing now that used to yield you the same results are no longer getting you the same results? And so you keep trying and trying and trying, and then you keep failing, and then you just finally give up on things that you enjoy, whether it be a dating relationship or whether you're trying to start your own business and create something great as a self-employed entrepreneur, or whatever it is you're trying to create, right? I myself, again, I'll admit this. Just because I'm a coach, I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. Doctors are not perfect, right? Doctors have made mistakes. They've made plenty of mistakes. They made many mistakes when my father was alive that involved back surgery for my father. My father had a lot of surgeries over the last 10 years of his life. And he would go to Stanford Hospital, one of the most renowned hospitals on the planet, with the best doctors, right? Even Stanford doctors make mistakes. We're humans. We make mistakes, right? So I'm saying this so you folks understand, I'm human just like you. I am human just like you. And I make mistakes. And even for me, you know, I've had those moments even recently where, you know, I've been trying to move the needle forward in my life, personally and professionally. And no matter what I do, it's at a standstill. And I wanted to do this stream today to not only remind myself of my own advice I give myself when I go through this, but to give you folks some good advice on how to deal with this, right? I did a stream last week. Don't overthink things, right? Don't overthink things. Don't expect anything at all. When you expect things, you put out bad karma into the universe, right? Guys, those of you that are somewhat well-versed when it comes to women know that if a woman can sense you expecting something, you're not going to get it, right? So what's your best approach in that situation? Your best approach in that situation is to just be cool, calm, and collected. Just hang out, have fun, and if something happens and it clicks and she likes who you are and it leads to hooking up and having some intimacy, that's great, right? But don't expect it. Don't overthink it. You know, there are many people out there that go to bed every night wondering if they're ever going to find true love and happiness. I'm just waiting for those kids to go by. Some dude's popping wheelies. I'm looking to see where he's at. You know, people try to do crazy things when they see people with a selfie stick in the camera or try to do something like I do, right? That's all right. You just gotta roll with the punches, right? There he is. He went down the side, popping wheelies, right? Hopefully you don't get hurt. He has no helmet on. He's popping wheelies with no helmet. It's not the smartest thing to do. If you're just living your life and you're cool, calm, and collective, and you just focus on your purpose and focus on bettering yourself just a little bit each and every day, eventually other people will start seeing it. And the fact that you're not overthinking things or trying, you're just being you, that's going to make you most attractive. That's the truth, folks. That's the right way to look at it. Welcome to the show, Riff. How you doing, man? That's the right way to look at it. Jeez, I can't get a break. So many people are walking in my path today. I think this is because it's after work and everyone is out. So anyway, let me take a look real quick here. Does he have to make all that noise really? I think that's just his bike. Yeah, no, you know why he started doing wheelies? Because he saw me with the camera, right? He saw me with the camera and he wanted to distract my show. But those dudes looked at me and they're like, this guy's not messing around. I've dealt with the worst trolls and haters on YouTube. I've been doxxed in real life by people on the internet that have sent the police to the park and have showed up to stalk me in PT Cruisers and shit like that, right? You think a kid on a bike doing wheelies and making squeaky noises is going to faze me? You kidding me? No fucking way. Not at all. It's just comical, Riff. You know, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? Like the song, right? Of all the stuff that I've experienced on YouTube by these people, has made me stronger. It has. I'm not going to lie. It has. I'm not saying I wasn't strong before. I just had never dealt with anything like the stuff I dealt with on YouTube. But it definitely made me stronger. Point of where nothing phases me anymore. It doesn't. And maybe I'll speak about these people for a little bit, because a few people sent me some links to the news reporting guy's stream that he did yesterday, I guess. And I guess apparently he's moving on. He's throwing in the towel. He's not going to be coming at me or the mid-30s millennial guy anymore. That's a good choice, dude. Because there's nothing left in the tank. Nobody cares. No one's really feeding into it. And if you think I'm feeding into it, I'm not. I'm just, stating that, hey, it's stupid, right? Nothing you do has the same impact anymore because you've done everything, right? You've already done everything. There's nothing left to do. What has this guy not done? All right, he spit on my father's grave. He showed up at my mother's place. He went to where I'm at right now, Red Morton Park, right? Well, now we all know why he did that, because he was paid by a sponsor to do that. He'll never admit that, but that's what happened. So the truth of the matter is there's nothing left to do, right? And if I'm not engaging the guy, right, and going back and forth and, really starting to feed into it, right now I'm just stating what's going on. I'm not feeding into it. I'm just stating why he's doing what he's doing. Hey, SIF USMO, welcome, bro. Looks like the auto exposure is kicking in really nice on the 12 Pro Max. But yeah, that's another thing to discuss here regarding the topic. Results will happen. They will come when you least expect it, right? So don't give up. Folks, my YouTube story, I'm not trying to overplay it. I'm not seeking for sympathy or sorrow or anything like that. But my YouTube story is unlike anything any other YouTuber's ever been through. Now, I'm not saying that worse things haven't happened to other YouTubers. Yeah, some of them have had some worse things, like guys showing up with guns and stuff, right? That has not happened to me, but pretty much almost everything else has. But the continuous amount of time that I was harassed, no one's ever been through that. I was harassed for well over 3 years, close to 4 years. And again, the reason why I was sustainable so long is because the guys that were harassing me were getting paid to harass me, and still are, by a guy that runs a fake caregiving company, Texas Caregiver. So yeah, there's nothing left in the tank. There's nothing left to do, right? The thrill is gone. The audience doesn't care about it anymore. I mean, even if I fed into it, there's nothing left. Like, it doesn't matter even what I do, to be honest with you. It's played itself out. Now, I am handling it more maturely and properly, right? Now I'm laughing at it, right? And I'm using it as examples to teach other people how to deal with this stuff, right? But I could have given up. I could have given up years ago when these people that were more experienced at YouTube than I was at that time did things to myself, my girlfriend at the time, her family, and other people. And they were doing whatever they could to run me off the platform and get my woman to leave me, right? And honestly, they were successful for the most part. I'm not gonna lie. Why were they successful? Because they were more experienced at trolling and harassing people on YouTube. I brought my experience in or onto this platform from real life. I didn't have the experience of being a social media star or whatever you want to call it, right? But guess what? Now I do. Now, here's the value. Here's the value that you get from me as a coach. Not only am I able to share with you folks what works and doesn't work IRL, like they call it, in real life, outside of YouTube and social media, but I can also share with you what works and doesn't work on YouTube and social media. It's been a real eye-opener, this whole thing, right? This whole experience has been an eye-opener. Jesus Christ, man, I hate show-offs. God. You know, people that just gun it in a parking lot with their rice rockets are very insecure. Any dudes that drive erratically, they rev up their engines and stuff like that, that's one big insecurity. It's unnecessary. Yeah, you're masking how you really feel about yourself by revving up, right? You're revving up the engine on your rice rocket to mask your insecurities. That's beautiful, right? I can help you with that too. It's actually a gorgeous night. And even though the sun went down, the moon is so bright, like I can still see very, very clearly. And this auto exposure, you know, low light compensation, the low light compensation on the auto exposure on the 12 Pro Max is just phenomenal. So in the past, I've always set the bar high for me, and I still do, I'm not gonna lie. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't either. But I've been very hard on myself. And I've always continued to focus so hard on the prize than just laying off a bit or laying off completely, just sitting back and letting things unfold naturally, right? I've done a lot of work to prepare this YouTube channel. Got a couple people coming and they're just walking very slow. I've prepared quite a bit for this YouTube channel. And when it comes to my dating life, I've reached out to a lot of women. I've sent messages out and I've been in communication with tons of women, tons of them, right? What I should do, and what I suggest you folks do, is once you lay down the groundwork, right, pull back and let it ride. Because I've come to this point in my life before, and I'm sure you have, it's called a crossroad. When you make a lot of effort, you try very hard, and you do things in a smart and reasonable way to move your personal and professional life forward. And if things aren't moving the needle like you would want them to, does it mean you weren't doing the right thing? No, it just means the time hasn't come yet. You've laid the foundation now with all the work that you've done for your business or your personal life, such as reaching out to a lot of women. Now, give everyone the time and space to figure out how they want to work with you or handle you, you know, in any way, you know, dating, business, or whatever, right? You have to be patient. Yes, you do have to put yourself out there and work hard and lay the foundation and allow people to know you exist. But now people know I exist, right? Now people know I exist. So now it's time to pull back and just do what I do normally every day for myself and just focus on me. And if these people resonate with me, then who knows? They may reach out one day and say, hey, Eli, are you still interested in going on a date? You might get a message from a woman 2 weeks from now. That could be the love of your life. Out of the blue, messaging you because you gave her time and space and you weren't being pushy and you weren't overthinking it like most other people do, right? Same thing with this YouTube channel. I've got 9 people here right now. It's fluctuating, right? I got 9 people here, right? And a lot of the trolls and the haters, you know, want to say, oh, this is an epic failure. Well, I could be rude and say the only epic failure are you trolls. Which that would be true, but you know what? I'm going to retract that because I'm actually a good guy. And I actually care about everyone, including the trolls. I'm just not going to allow you to run your mouths in my chats anymore. But hey, it is what it is. So yeah, you know, hey, we got 9 or 10 people here, right? And most people in my shoes would be thinking, okay, well, Eli used to get 30 or 40 people on his streams. He used to get more views on his videos. What's going on? If I was in his shoes, I'd be disappointed. I'd feel like quitting, right? Well, that's what most people would do, right? But I actually completely understand and know what's going on, and this was expected. I'm not surprised. It's rebuilding. It's out with the old, in with the new. It's about taking out the trash and then doing the cleanup, right? And then after you take out the trash and you remove all the broken pieces, right? Then you start to rebuild, right? And rebuilding is not easy, folks. Rebuilding is not easy. You see, I have 11 people here right now. And to be honest with you, I'm pretty proud and happy about that. You want to know why? Because there are people that have been doing YouTube as long as I have, with the same subscriber count or close to it as I have, right? And they get 1 or 2 or 3 people on their live streams. So, should I be complaining about my numbers? Should you be complaining if you're in a similar situation? No. That's 10 or 11 more people that took time out of their busy day or night, and some even after a long, hard day at work, to tune in and watch you and listen to you. I'm very grateful and thankful for that. I really am. And folks, it's not easy to swallow this pill, right? Because everyone wants to be successful nowadays. Everyone out here on social media wants to go viral. They want to have thousands of views. They want 100 or more people on their live streams, right? And for some people, when they feel that taste of getting 80 to 100 people on a live stream, and then that gets cut in half or more, they start to feel like, what's happening? I'm losing my touch. No, that's not what's happening. You just didn't have the right audience. You weren't focused on the right thing. you strayed away into endless nonsensical drama. I had to learn that. That's why I'm patient. That's why I know that good things will happen for me when I least expect it and when the time is right. I share this again with you folks because I know many of you are feeling the same way about certain things. Some of those things could be YouTube. Maybe you're a YouTuber as well. Maybe you're in a rough relationship. Maybe it's some other issue, right? And you're feeling the same way, right? You're wondering if all the effort you put into whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish is going to pan out at some point or not, right? You're wondering that, right? Folks, here's the thing. My advice on my advice for YouTube and why I keep moving forward out here on YouTube. The moment I stop is the moment that I'm completely irrelevant. If I keep going, I'm somewhat relevant on here. I'm not saying I'm completely relevant, and I'm not saying this to be rude or kick myself down. What I'm saying is, for anyone out there, including me, the moment that you stop putting out videos and or doing live streams is the moment that you're completely irrelevant. If you keep going, you're somewhat relevant. You have somewhat of a relevancy and a chance to become completely relevant, right? If you learn how to roll with the punches and understand that this is a process. Like many people say, YouTube is a marathon, not a sprint, right? It's a marathon, not a sprint. Anyway, folks, I'm probably only gonna do 2 laps because it is getting much darker. And had I started on time, if I didn't screw up the first link, I would have probably been able to do 4 laps, and we would have been ending right now anyway. So, get any questions, comments, or concerns in the chat. At this time, I will be going off the air in about 5 to 10 minutes. Yeah, it's just been one of those days, folks. We all get those days, right? And I'm just trying to be as raw and real with you folks. Okay? I don't think that somebody has to be perfect to give advice on YouTube, because nobody's perfect. You see, a lot of these trolls and haters and other creators, because they have no other content, they try to kick you down by saying that your advice sucks because you're a failure at your own advice. Well, the truth of the matter is everyone fails, regardless of who you are. Doctors, professors, some of the most qualified people on the planet that give advice to help others and have helped others have failed at times, even with their own advice. That's called being a human being. That's also, probably being, something that happens as circumstance, right? Sometimes things happen in a circumstantial way that are out of your control, no matter how good you are at helping other people to work through certain things. Sometimes you're going to have your own moments because you're human too. That doesn't mean you're not qualified. Doesn't mean that you're not good at what you do. It doesn't mean that you're an epic failure. I took care of that myself, Queen. Another thing for me is that while these guys that were coming at me for years have moved on for the most part, there's still some residual effect happening. And that's something that is just going to go away over time. At some point, the whole Coach Eli thing is going to be so boring to these people that these people are going to even forget I exist. At some point, that point's coming, right? But for right now, you're still going to have some people that are going to, dribble on in every now and then, right? Trying to stir up the pot because they're bored and miserable, sitting wherever they're sitting, their apartment, their home, wherever they're at, doesn't matter. Hotel, doesn't matter, right? But at some point, the epiphany is going to hit them. And they're going to realize that it's just stupid, right? And they should focus more on fixing their life and becoming the best version of themselves they can be, right? All right. I'm going to get out of here in just a few. I want to thank you all for being here tonight. I apologize for what happened earlier. If you want to go back and check out the beginning of the replay, I did explain what happened. It was a glitch or a mistake on my part. Didn't even realize it was happening. So I had to shut down the other link where I was going to go live from and create a new one sitting in my car at the park from a smartphone. It's a lot easier to set things up on an actual laptop or desktop. I'm going to say this, folks, before I go. Just food for thought. If you're trying to accomplish something, especially if you're trying to run your own business and become self-employed, or you're trying to be a successful YouTuber, this is not easy stuff, folks. It's a challenge each and every day. It's an uphill battle. It's going to test your strength, your patience, your sanity. It's going to test everything each and every day, right? And if I wasn't feeling the way I just mentioned, folks, even at this moment or over the past several weeks or in general, I'd be lying to you. I think we all feel that pressure, and I think we all want a taste of that, excitement and success and virality, right? We want that. We all want to be successful, right? And then we overthink it and we let it consume us. And that's when things start to go the opposite way. It derails us from staying on track. Even if we're not where we feel we should be at, if we keep pushing forward in the right direction, we're going to eventually get there when we least expect it, right? And get rid of that expectation. Because I don't know about you folks, every time I've expected something good to happen to me, business or personal, it's never happened. And if it did, start to happen, it always ended up failing miserably because it was expected and it wasn't just a natural thing. I think the one thing we all need to understand, folks, is that the best way to connect with people and get what you want from people, or to get along with people, is to just let things naturally happen. Anything that is forced is just that. And it's just never going to work out in the end. Even if you can force someone into a relationship with you or force someone into a business deal with you as an entrepreneur, at some point, it's going to implode, right? I think it's best if you just, hey, put yourself out there, make people aware you exist, right? And then pull back and focus on you and bettering yourself each and every day. Take walks like I do, get in the best shape of your life possible, right? Maybe, do a deep clean of your place. Keep focusing on yourself. And stop expecting things. And the moment that you stop expecting things, and when you least start to expect things, things will start happening for you. It's happened to me in the past many times. Now, this modern world is unlike anything that we've experienced, and it keeps on getting more and more interesting and more difficult to navigate through. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that. I'm sure most of you can agree with me, right? But even in this crazy modern world we all live in, the same principles apply, right? And you need to stand out even more in this modern world when it comes to dating and business, right? On YouTube, the one that stands out, that does things differently than anyone else, is going to get the attention and attraction, right? Who do you think is going to get the girl when she has 100 options? It's going to be the guy that pays the least attention to her. You put yourself on her radar and then you back off. Let her go out there and experience these other guys. How do you know what's going to happen or not going to happen 6 months down the road? Just because I've talked to a bunch of women right now for the last few months, hundreds, if not thousands of women, right, through messages and phone calls and stuff, just because one hasn't panned out now. Who's to say that 1 or 2 or 3 of those women aren't going to reach out in 3 to 6 months at some point and say, hey, Eli, I remember I met you on Match.com. I was kind of seeing someone, it didn't work out, and I wanted to see if you still wanted to hang out sometime. I'm sorry I got kind of busy and stuff. I was doing you never know what's going to happen. When you least expect things, they're going to start happening. And that's when I'm going to wrap this up today at 58 minutes. Thank you, folks, for being here tonight. Have yourselves a great one. I'll see you all next time. Take care. Bye-bye. We're out.